The next thing that you could do when you're connected without internet, you could just go on Save Post and you could view the offline post that you want to view. So we added a little bit of AI. Nowadays, based on research, many individuals would not like to read a lot of things, especially if they are in a lot of wordings, so they wouldn't love to read. So what we did was we added a little bit of AI, wherein the application reads for you. You don't need to read. So all you need to do, if you want the application to read information for you, just click on the speaker icon and start reading the important information you have on that post. And if you want to do a searching where you use audio searching, you don't need to type again. All you need to do is just click on that recording icon and you will search for any information relevant to this application. Like for instance, I just want to search for fundings. I will say GCCI fundings, and the application will do a voice search and give you the information about the funding in terms of voice activation. So this is if you want to share the application to friends, you could easily click on the share icon or even share. So you could share contents as well as the application. So these are sample pictures of the application. As of now, we have the Android version which is on Play Store. So you could just type the GCCI YouthApp and you could easily download this application. So we also have a website for this application. But before going to that, I would just like to brief you on the back end for the institution that will be posting in this application. So that's the back end. We use a WordPress back end so that users who don't have the technical ability in posting information will be very easy on them. So that's the sample of the back end on how you could post when it comes to institution sites. So that's the beautiful landing page of the application in terms of the website. So you could have it on www.gcciyouth.com and you could have all information on the application likewise in the website. So that's the other way. You can have a menu of this application on the website, which includes the categories in the application. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for listening.
I thank everybody, members of the high table, GCCI President and CEO, and all members of the floor, and all GCCI members. I am very grateful and thank God that we are here today to witness another program of GCCI. As usual, they always give us very productive and programs that we can definitely rely on them to develop our businesses. Alhamdulillah, as they have already said, the Kaula Trade Fair organized by the Kaula Chamber of Commerce in partnership with the Senegal Gambia Network of Women Entrepreneurs and Leaders. This year is the 4th edition, and it's going to be on the 25th of January to the 9th of February. The opening would be on the 26th. We are expecting our members and all members of GCCI and all members of all women entrepreneurs and young entrepreneurs to participate in this trade fairs. We have been picking up registration forms from members of the association and members of GCCI and youth members. What I want to stress on here is I want youth and women entrepreneurs to participate very well in this important networking and empowerment forum, because looking at the trend of business in the Gambia, with the fact that the youth and women are the biggest developers, please, I am just appealing again. I want the GCCI, as they have always been doing, to sponsor this upcoming trade fair, which is named, which Gambia is the chief guest of honor. Gambia is the chief guest of honor this year, and we want a lot of Gambians to be present and support the trade fair, so that Gambian name would be seen, Gambian entrepreneurs would be in the forefront, especially youth and women entrepreneurs. We want all of you to, even if you don't come as participants, as exhibitors, come and market your products. Bring your business cards and your flyers. Come to the opening. 2 weeks. Kaula is just not far. It's just about two hours from here. If the bridge is open, the Yilchana Amatrenda bridge is open on the 24th. It's not even better. So you can drive easily and come to Kaula. If you cannot come to the opening on the 26th, come any day from the 26th to the 28th. I am also calling on the year program, the startup incubator as well. You have your youths with you that you can. It's an opportunity, a great forum platform for your youths to network, and we want you to fund them to come over to this program. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. Again, thank you once again, GCCI, our greatest partners. Whatever, alhamdulillah, whatever we do with GCCI. Thank you very much, everybody.
We will now do a question and answer, and I'll leave it to the floor. If you have any questions for members of the High Table or the Mala Project, we would do a combined Q&A.
Thank you so much. I thank you, the GCCI management. I only have a concern, and I wanted to know if there is a relationship between the GCCI and the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce. Was looking at the two entities, they are all operating in terms of promoting entrepreneurship. And the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce is also established and is also working with young people to expose them to some business opportunities. Is there any synergy between the two institutions as GCCI is trying to help the young people? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fall. I think it's a very pertinent issue, and myself as president of the Chamber of Commerce, I've always asked that. Are we the Gambia Chamber of Commerce or the Greater Banjul Chamber of Commerce? And I would make sure I put the CEO on the spot to follow up on that. Thank you, Mr. Fall. Okay. I'll let Mr. Bajara answer the trade fair question. The CEO will talk about the youth chamber that he mentioned and the Gambia Chamber of Commerce footprint. Thank you.
For non-members is $12,000. For members is $10,200. There's a 15% discount for members. Empty space as 3 by 3 square meters, $10,000. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I will respond first to the question about the National Chamber, whether it's a Banjul Chamber or it's a Basse Chamber, as some Sarahulis would have it. We are a national chamber. That means it's a Gambia Chamber of Commerce. I know over the last 50 years, our presence in the regions have not been as prominent as it has been in Banjul. But I can assure you there is an active goal now to ensure that an office or some representation is set up in Basse, which is the farthest point, coming down to Sierra and other areas. So rest assured, within the next 8 weeks, some presence will be announced formally in that area, because we would want to impact on everyone across the Gambia. With regards to the third question on the synergy between the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and the Youth Chamber, we continue to support the Youth Chamber. After all, a lot of the activities that we engage in at the Gambia Chamber of Commerce covers everyone, whether it's women, it's youth, you name it. The Youth Chamber is a separate entity, but we have offered and we will continue to support them in all areas. So rest assured that our work, even though we are the National Chamber, also will certainly complement their work.
We'll take another set of questions.
Léegi wax ne prices yi stores yi nga ñeneen ñu bari mënuñoo fay ñu fay $10,000 ndax mun nañ koo fay anytime lu am rek dañ ko bas banque bi dajale service bi ñëw si ko ndax loolu mën naa possible.
I am Mohamed Jabam from Gambia Partner School Center. My question is, what plan does GCCI and YEP Africa have for the youths who are learning skills and after the completion of their learning?
Okay, thank you. Good morning. I am Omar Cham from the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce. I guess to comment on what he asked, at the level of the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce, we have a lot of regional presence because since establishment, our efforts have been geared towards rural youth, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship development. And Mr. Sao can bear with us that an MOU is pending, and hopefully when that MOU is signed, that synergy can be more put into effort so that the efforts of the Youth Chamber and the National Chamber can go a long way in helping the young people when it comes to entrepreneurship, and more especially those people in the regional areas. Thank you.
Thank you. I am Mustafa Mane, regional rep for YEP in Arab. And my question will be the amount of money that I had here for the people or the entrepreneurs that are going for the trade fair. For me is a bit high. Like looking at those who are struggling to be at least a bigger entrepreneur, you ask them to pay 10,000, definitely they will really struggle to pay and it will kill their spirit.
Regarding Jabang's question, I'll connect it to with money because both of them has to do with YEP and youth. First of all, the Gambia Chamber of Commerce is a membership-based association. So what we tend to do is we tend to promote the interests of our members. Some of what we do affects the greater business community. However, as part of our strategy, strengthening indigenous Gambian youths in skill-based entrepreneurship is a core driver of one of our strategies. Unfortunately, we do not have as much funding as like the YEP program in terms of training and capacity building. However, whatever policy initiations government tries to do, we try to design it so that young entrepreneurs can have better access to finance, access to capacity, and access to market, so that institutions like you can develop the capacity to create the supply for the demand in the market. But we don't have a direct facility to finance or train youth, but we do partner with YEP, ADB, and other parties. Regarding the cost of the stall of the trade fairs, I will let Mr. Jabi talk about it. But you also have to understand that we invest quite a lot of capital to put up those stores and handle the trade fair. But I'll let Mr. Jabi, as the chairman of the trade fair, talk about it. Thanks.
For the lady, about the payment plan mode. The deadline is the 15th of March. Stores will not be allocated to you unless you do the final payment. And if there's no store at that time, there will be a lot of misunderstanding. But we are lobbying with our partners. There will be sponsored Made in Gambia by Gambian stores. There will also be stalls for businesses that are not only youth, because YEP and others are focused on the youth. We have adults here who have lucrative businesses that need sponsors. After the presentation, you can either meet me or somebody else, and then we can discuss more about that, so we can lobby for sponsors for people who can afford the store. For the prices, it's been years now. We haven't stick to the same price. Inflation has kicked in, but we still stick to the same price. Material prices are high, and the stadium we pay for the space has been going up. Some of the materials we bought are already used, and we have to buy new ones. The service, cleaning, security, everything is going up, but GCI is still the same. So you have to bear with us for that price. Also, there will be shared stores, whereby if your business is too small to take a whole stall, you can share with the same business with somebody that's doing the same business as you are doing. I think that answers your question.
Like I said, the access to finance is in two folds. One is the mini grant scheme, which is a grant of $1,000 to any youth who train a skill or undergone an entrepreneurship training program and at the end had a certificate and wants to start his or her businesses. But if you also feel that $47,000 or $1,000 is too small for you, there is also the mini loan scheme, which is approximately $10,000 that you can access. The mini grant scheme is implemented by NACO, and the mini loan scheme is with SDF. And with regards to skills training for institutions who want to train more young people, we have rolled the Skill for Youth Employment Fund, which is a competitive funding model in which you you can train young people in marketable skills, and at the end, at least 50% of them could have a job, start their own business, or are in a placement program. So long as you can demonstrate this, the next round of the Skycom will be launched, and you would have the opportunity to apply again as an institution. Thank you.
My name is It's just a recommendation or a suggestion about the stock allocation. It's really important for this year comfort, first come, first serve, but normally it doesn't work like that. So I think with the way everything is organized, they should look into stock allocation as well, to really give priorities to people that have paid first.
Thank you very much. I am Omar from the Standard newspaper. I just want to know how will you rate the business atmosphere 2 years on into President Barrow's leadership in terms of inclusiveness and diversity. The other question is, I just want to know what is the relationship, how is the relationship like between the GCCI and the presidency, because we know President Barrow was one of you before he became the president. The third one is, it is proper that many a times when businessmen come to the country from anywhere, we just go directly to the presidency and meet the president before meeting any other business entity, let's say the GCCI, GAIPA, and other places. It is proper for things to continue like that, because we know that this is a trajectory that Jammeh introduced. Is it proper in business-wise for this trend to continue under the leadership of President Barrow?
Good morning, everybody. Information Technology Officer, GAIPA. Okay, my question is for the Youth App. Since the Youth App was built for youth, now, first question is, how often do you intend to be updating data on the app? 1, 2, we have so many young entrepreneurs doing business. What facility would they be given to access the Youth App? Do they have to pay to be featured on the Youth App? 1, or is it on through the success of their business? Now the other thing is, the third question is, the Youth App, is it just built for youth to be featured, or is it more of an e-commerce platform? Thank you.
I'll answer the question from Omar's Standard newspaper. Mr. Jabi will talk about the international participants trade fair payments, and the Youth App people, Mala, will talk about the Youth App concession. And first of all, we'll start with the relationship with the presidency. The President of the Republic of the Gambia is always the chief patron of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. It's not the person, it's the presidency. So we need to get that clear. Regardless whether it was Sadauda, Jammeh, or Barrow, the presidency is the chief patron of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. President Barrow was an entrepreneur before becoming a president, and we were honored to host him during our annual dinner gala. Regarding the business environment, it has been very challenging. There's still opportunities that we can improve on, especially in pushing indigenous Gambian businesses to participate in key sectors of the economy. It's still not there, it will never be there, because once we get one step, we want to go to the next step and get more Gambians to be involved in bigger business operations. But I think with the establishment of the National Business Council, whereby 5 cabinet members, 8 business private sector operators are represented, we have a stronger footing to direct policies that will encourage more indigenous participation of Gambians in the business activities of this country. Regarding the business or potential investors coming directly to Gambia and going to the presidency, well, that is something that President Barrow has to address. There's a GAIPA Act which is supposed to promote investment, and I think on the normal process, as you mentioned, this is something that was started by Jammeh, but yesterday I was on West Coast Radio and I mentioned it. President Jammeh has left, but Jammeh is still with us. It's unfortunate that those policies are still being continued under President Barrow. Unfortunately, we're not the Gambia government, we're the Gambia Chamber of Commerce. But it is up to government to tell investors that come into this country, we have an agency that was set up by an act of parliament. If you are a serious investor, go to that agency first. But that one you'll have to go and ask President Barrow. Thank you.
For stall allocation, first come, first served basis. It's a challenge every year, but last year was better. And this year, we're making sure one individual will be handling the allocation, so there will be an overlap. And since I discussed about the payment plan mode, will also be an issue with the first come, first served basis. Because if an individual start paying, you have to allocate stall for that individual. And if the individual defaults or decide to not continue, there'll be a gap. So for the foreign stalls, yes, we accept CFA. If you're from Europe, we accept euros. From England, we accept pounds. So as far as is the exchange rate at the time, the market rate at the time. So yes, we accept CFA. Thank you.
Regarding the youth app, my sister from GAIPA, how often do we update data? We update it when needed and necessary, because it's a living platform, it's a live platform. Now what we do is that the data that is currently there, if it's outdated, we'll have to take it out, and then we'll have to input the new ones that are relevant. That's why we're emphasizing on institutions to give us data when we need it, in a timely manner, and it has to be accurate. Because what happens is that when institutions give us the data, now we will not necessarily go into editing the content of that data. So we always remind them that the data has to be accurate, and it has to tally with what is available. Because if, for example, an institution tells us that there is funding available at their end, and then we put that data on the app, and then the youth access this, and then they approve the institution for that particular facility, only to go there, and then they have some stories to, to explain to them. It will be very unfortunate. So we will want the theory in the app to be backed up with practical stuff on the ground. So that's one. The youth app is for free. There is no charge. We are not commercializing it. And finally, it's not an e-commerce platform. It's an information platform. Thank you.
For the cleaning and catering, it's normally done through a membership tender. Only members are called upon. If it's cleaning service, members who have registered the chamber as cleaning service companies will be called upon. And if it's catering, the same thing applies. So yes, it's standard in-house, only for members. We also have a committee that we set before every trade fair. The committee involves different sectors of the businesses in the country. They are called upon to help us guide in what to do next, or what to expect, and what's not going right the last time we did the trade fair. So please, this year also we'll be having the meeting probably in a week or two. So it's open for everyone to come in, and we will invite you to give us an idea on what you think is best to handle the trade fair.
we have what we call the Schools Outreach Program here in the Chamber. And what we intend to do is to reach out to the schools. Normally we're targeting high schools, wherein we go with entrepreneurs, captains of industry, and employers to get these young people to get their mind ready for what happens life after school. Is it what employers are seeking for to get them employed, or is it to nurture their entrepreneurship skills? In fact, I must say, just yesterday we had a letter coming from Nusrat, who are intending to organize a trade fair at the high school level, and we are supporting this. So this is one of the initiatives. So if you equally have a commerce club at your end and they intend to do something commerce related, we will be very, very happy to support. And I'm sure that my CEO will definitely approve such. So there was an e-commerce platform directed at Babukat, but I have something little to say, because here at the Chamber, we've continuously seen that it's unavoidable to use technological platforms to champion anything. So as a result, we've secured some support to do a study about a feasibility study about e-commerce platform in the Gambia, because you will understand that there are certain structures, both hard and soft, that need to be in place before we can get something like an e-commerce platform running. We need a regulatory framework, we need a legal framework, and the central bank has to be involved, and a broader stakeholder group has to be involved. So we will work on that, and we will make the results of the study available in this year, inshallah. So don't.
But I just want to say that at the moment, what we have is training on freelancers, that is internet marketers. Okay, this is a group of young people that composed of over 300, and now it is boiled down to 50 based on their interest and their participation in the e-learning platform. And in a few weeks' time, they will be graduated. And after the graduation, the intention is to match them to available businesses or startups that are in the country here, mainly youth and others that have the potential to create more jobs for young people, to provide the digital marketing that they require. But in addition to that, we are working currently, I think even yesterday there was an exchange with the Chamber in regards to hosting a training in the Chamber here for 25 tech startups on how to improve them for a period of 1 year. Now, this is an opportunity to also communicate to all those who are in the tech industry that there would be some technical training available from February today in 1 year time that is going to look at promoting and developing these startups to provide platforms that you're just talking about. You don't also have to be a mature startup. It could be at ideation level, it could be a startup, and it could be a mature company. So long as it is a youth-owned, the call for application is already open on our website, so you can all visit it there, yep.gm, to register and be part of this cohort. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm not the one affair cleaning the pare. Why do you don't put your correct my affair toilet seat? But no law affair cleaning the one toilet seat. The international trade fair, I think new international, then they use toilet. The toilet is take our top. So please put no hard to look and put before try the empty. Because thank you.
I would only want to say thank you so much to the GCCI, and also want to tell them to search for more international business forums. As Mr. Nini here, I get my way to GCCI's trade fair outside Gambia. I am a petty trader who goes around do my business, and I get to have achieved my dreams through the trade fair that I attended through the GCCI, where I was able to achieve my dreams, and I am on it right now. That is why I said I will tell the GCCI and also tell them to get search for more trade fairs so that people like me will come to get what they want through their trade fairs.
GCCI, all committed on a day-to-day basis to rise in the morning, spend 8 or 10 hours a day working only in the interest of businesses. Whether we advocate represent, make presentations, give speeches, answer queries, you name it. That's what we do every day on behalf of all businesses. And as President says, we are a membership organization. Notwithstanding, a lot of these interests that come to us or inquiries actually are not necessarily just for members. But because we are a national chamber, we act in the national interest. We sit and we represent also in boards, in meetings, in fora. At this very moment, we have 2 or 3 sessions where our staff are there, again, advocating and representing these businesses. But on a day-to-day basis also, we issue certificates of origins for exports outside the Gambia. We organize trade fairs. We organize the interstate road transit. We capacitize and organize training so that one of the things that the lady talked about, project management, seasoned opportunities, etc., are enhanced so that members can actually benefit and grow their businesses. So that's what we do for whether it's members or non-members, but particularly for the membership. Moving on, the craft market, we understand the challenges. The tourism sector is an important one in the Gambian economy. We also are aware that our tourism has not grown as much as it should over the last few years. The quality is still a challenge because we are still in the mass tourism business, and a lot of these are based on their budget and what they have in their wallet. So if they can find something $25 is cheaper, unfortunately, they will go for that. But I think, again, taking cue, what we could do is let's ensure we have niche markets. Because once you've got your own segment of any industry or any business you are in, irrespective of the competition or the choices, yours will thrive. So let's also look into that possibility. Let's try and improve our product variety. I mean, particularly, let's not just have the same that they have at the Serekunda market. Let's have something different and unique so that when the customer comes, he will not leave your shop. And also, use your marketing skills to ensure that the tourist doesn't leave your store empty-handed. We are aware of these challenges. We'll continue to work with the relevant authorities, whether it's the Gambia Tourism Board or the Ministry of Tourism, as well as the Ministry of Trade, to ensure that we see how we advocate and advance tourism. But it's a tough one. I don't have all the answers. I'm sure we can continue to have a discussion. But at your chamber, we'll continue to work with you to see if we can find solutions. The issue of the toilets at the trade fair is a sad one. Unfortunately, a lot of the vendors contribute towards the blockage and destruction of the facilities. Last year, the chairman of the Trade Fair Committee actually funded the construction of a new toilet block. And guess what? Within 6 days, the toilets were blocked. There are 2 parts. I think as vendors and participants at the fair, we must be mindful and take our responsibilities seriously, but also aware that there are other users that also would want to come, and we should not be indisciplined in the use of these facilities. I think that's key. Notwithstanding, as part of the contract that we have with the service provider, is to ensure consistent and continuous cleaning of the facilities. We will continue to monitor and engage any successful partner, for that matter, that we engage. But I can assure you it's true competitive bidding. It is not given to any specific one just because we like that person or so. To the contrary, it's only through competitive bidding, and everybody who is a member is entitled to apply for these services. Eventually, the committee will decide in an open and transparent manner who gives the best offer and will be awarded the contract. It's the same for the catering service as well. So rest assured that this is a transparent and, should I say, an honest process that we go through. The issue about networking and international fairs that we should continue to, should we say, seek and offer to our members. We assure you, if you're a member and you get the e-bulletin that we produce every month, we publish all the fairs that have been notified to us. So please follow this up, or check our Facebook page, our Twitter, and our app, and you'll find loads of these events and fairs. Again, a key objective of this chamber is networking and matchmaking. So if you know of any that we've missed, let us know, and we will certainly help popularize it and ensure that other people benefit from attending. But we're very pleased that we continue to provide this networking opportunity. We're glad that some of you have benefited and have moved to high heights. That's our job, and it gives us pleasure that we see some of you thriving and moving to the next level. Thank you.
For the toilets, as CEO just stated, there's extra 6 portable toilets this year coming.
Yeah.
So yes, the toilets, hopefully there'll be a great change. We thank you, the leader at the back. We're proud that we have made a change in your life, and we'll hope to do so with you and new members. For Mr. Fall, networking, I think we have just created 50 people, more than 50 people are in this room. So there's 50 people, customers for you right here to start marketing right now. For the other is for adult businesses. This is not from GCCI, this is me speaking on my own. Yep, GAIPA are doing a great job. A country will not move without the youths. They are the future. What happened to the present? Like he said, the present is dying. If there's no present, there won't be any future. In our culture, a 35-year-old will still be living in the family house, and the mother and the father are taking care of the 35-year-old. If we don't take care of our 35 and above, our parents, we won't be strong enough to even sit and discuss about using app or internet or all that, because they are all paid by the parents. Don't get me wrong, YAP, GAIPA are doing a great job. What I'm saying is, big companies in this country are suffering a lot. You hardly see a 50-year-old company in this country. You hardly see it. A 50-year-old company in this country. It's New Gambia. Everybody's rushing youths, women empowerment. We need to let them move, but at the same time, get help for the old ones. I'm still young. I think I'm still a youth, so. But yes, I think we should all look into that. All our companies from 20 years old are all dying out. Sankutzila and Sons, those are the core of this country. You come down to other companies, they're all closing down. And new companies are coming in with no experience. I was invited at one of the pavilions, youth pavilion, and it didn't go well with some of the listeners, because I think if you give $10,000 to a youth who has no idea, who has never achieved $10,000 in his life or her life, you don't expect the person to turn that $10,000 to even $10,100. We need entrepreneurs, no doubt. But we need to learn to be entrepreneurs. Money doesn't make you an entrepreneur. No. You have to work, learn from the parents, learn the mistakes and the credits, the positives, and then use that to step on it to move forward. Western countries, most of their billionaires, unless if it's the tech world now, they're all 50, 60, 70, Warren Buffett, name them. So I am saying, please, YEP is already youth empowerment, so I won't touch YEP. I would say GAIPA, trade, other institutions, please. We are in crisis. Our companies are in crisis. We are in crisis. So we need help. Still, the youths like us, we need help. Continue to help us. And thank you, everyone.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on one of Mr. Fal's questions. What does the Chamber do for you? The Chamber is a membership-based association that has a general mission to help all the members. But I tell people, when you pay for your membership, you have a right to come and knock at this door and say, this is what industry I am in, this is what I want, and the Chamber will work with you to the right agency, to the government, to the ministry to support you. So there's no close end on what the membership of benefits you can get from being a member of the Chamber. Just wanted to add that. Thank you.
We've now come to the end of this event. The President, the Board, CEO, staff of the GCCI would like to say a big thank you to our partners, government, the private sector, our members and the media as well, for their immense contribution in 2018 and hope to work in 2019. Thank you all for coming and have a safe trip back to your final destination. We will now go upstairs for the network